Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I need to create a birthday card for my partner. It is his birthday this weekend and I thought I would use a couple of products that I haven't shown you yet. So as part of the card maker video competition we got a really big bundle of products from this Craftascope. So this isn't a brand that I had heard of before receiving these and we had a really big bundle of prizes. Like I said, I just haven't sort of got around to using them yet, but I'm going to use a couple of their products on my card today. So the first thing I'm going to be using is this stamp set here. So this is massive. This is called Build a Man. So if I just show you the stamp set. So the size of this stamp set is 7" by about 8.5". So it's really big. Let me just pop it on there so you can see. So we've got a man's face just here, then you have 4 different hairdos that you can stamp on top to create a full face. Then we do have a couple of sort of sentiments phrases in here. We've got choose to shine, laughter, be a voice not an echo, believe in yourself, and eyes are useless when the mind is closed. So you've got some really fun sentiments in there as well to go with that. So we're going to be creating a face to put on our card. The other product I'm going to be using is this layering dies set. This is the Craftascope. I think that's how you say it. So in here we've got 12 dies. This is the shape. So this has got 13 sides and it's got this kind of dotted detailing around the edge. So I've already taken out kind of the 3 dies that I'm going to be using. So this one here is the largest. So this is roughly about 6" square. So the first thing I wanted to do was create a card base. I thought that would be kind of the perfect way of using these nesting dies. So what I did is I just cut this from some 300 GSM cardstock. This is the largest die and I've cut myself 2 of these. This is going to make our card base. And again, this is a really decent size. So this should then fit in a 6 by 6" envelope. That is what I'm expecting. So to create my shaped card, what I'm going to do is take one of the shapes that I've cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of line it up anywhere. And I'm going to score, and this is going to create a fold for me. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of adhesive. And quite simply, I'm just going to line these up. And there we have our shaped card base. And then you haven't got kind of a straight edge. So if you're creating a circle card, it means then that you're not going to have kind of a straight edge where you need your fold to be. This will then stand up perfectly. So there we have our really easy card base. So now I want to add some mats and layers. So again, I've taken out 2 of the smaller sizes and this is just going to create us some really easy mats and layers. So for our first layer, I'm going to take a piece of this. This is Craft Perfect. This is the Ginger Pie by Tonic Studios. This is part of their new colour trend. I can't remember what the trend is actually called. It's to do with autumn. And this is their new colour. So I picked this up the other day. I did pick up some other colours as well, but I might wait and show you those in a haul video when I've got a few more bits and pieces. So I've already die cut my layer from this Ginger Pie. It's a really beautiful colour. So that is going to go on our card, and you have this really lovely kind of detail around the edge of that as well. Then for my next layer, I've taken a piece of patterned paper from this Grand Plans. This is by First Editions paper. I showed you this in a recent haul video. So I picked up this one here with the bottles on it. And I really like this one because it's got a little bit of texture on it as well. What I'm going to do, because I want the pattern to be right on my card, so I know from my card that I have got this piece here at the bottom. So what I want to make sure that I do is sort of line up the bottom so I can get this kind of nice and straight. Then I'm just going to hold this down with a little bit of tape. And I like just to cut round it just so it's easier to go through my die cutting machine. So here we have our next layer. So let's just bring our card back. So again, I just want to make sure that I get all of my layers kind of facing the right way, especially this one here. So then we have our layers just there. So I am going to add this. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue onto this layer. This one is going to be flat. And then for this layer, I'm going to add a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to use my foam tape here. So there is my basic card. Then we have our mats and layers. And now the next thing I want to do is just stamp our face. I've pulled out my Misty here. I've got a piece of Nina cardstock because I am going to use my alcohol markers to colour this in. So I've just popped my face in there so you can kind of see just how big this is. I've cut this piece of cardstock to 4.5 inch by 6 inch, so you can see the kind of general size of this. And I'm going to use then my Memento Tuxedo black ink because, like I said, I'm going to use my Copics to colour this in, or my alcohol markers, sorry. So like I showed you in the stamp set, you've got 4 different hairs that you can choose from. So I've just picked out this one. So I'm going to sort of line it up. I want to bring it down enough so then it sort of matches up with his ears here. But obviously it depends how you colour it in. This is quite a kind of loose style drawing, so I'm not really sure it matters kind of too much whether you get it spot on. And there you have it. So you can see just how nicely that hairdo kind of fits in then with that face. So now I'm ready to colour my face in. So I've picked up 3 different shades of brown from my tri-blend markers. So I've got the golden brown shades, earth brown blend and earth brown shades as well. So I'm going to try and get just some different kind of colours in here. So here's my face all finished. It's been coloured in, and I have just fussy cut around it just to have a nice white border. What I also did as well is just trim the bottom of this just to match obviously the shape. So all I did was worked out where I wanted it to go on my card. I just placed my die over the top of it, and I literally just cut it then with a craft knife, and that's just given me then that perfect base for that to sit on there. Lovely. But now the last thing I want to do is create a sentiment for the card, because I don't want to hide sort of too much of this patterned paper. I still want it to be kind of quite clean and simple. So I've taken my Birthday Bonanza. This is the Birthday Wishes stamp set by Hunky Dory. And I'm going to take this one here, and it says it's your birthday. So I'm just using up some scraps of card here. So I'm going to heat emboss this with some white embossing powder. So I'm first of all going to use my anti-static powder bag. So I've stamped that using my Simon Says Stamp clear ink, and I'm going to then sprinkle on some white embossing powder onto here, and then I'm going to melt that with my heat gun. So here's my sentiment. Like I said, I heat embossed that with some white embossing powder. And then I've just trimmed this in half because I didn't want it to cover up my face. Obviously with it being kind of longer, it would have covered it up. So I just decided to trim it down, and then we can have it just down the side, something along those lines. So what I want to do again is add a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to grab a bunch of my foam squares. These are the Chloe's Creative Cards foam pads on the roll. So let's use 4 of those. That's going to give us a nice decent bit of dimension there. So what I want to do is just get that lined up nicely. And we have that. And then let's add just some foam circles to the back of our sentiment. So we've got a lot of dimension going on here, but it's quite a basic card in itself. Dimension is going to add just a little bit more interest on a more simple card. So I can take the backs off my sentiments, and I'm just going to ever so slightly just tuck that under the ear. because obviously we've got a lot more dimension on our face here, so we can sort of slide little bits and pieces underneath. And then we've got space for birthday just there. And that is going to finish my card. So it's really quite simple in the design. Obviously we've got a few nesting shapes there with a couple of different papers. Obviously we've got our main element being this face here, but it really just helps to have sort of stamps and things like this, which is going to make really easy masculine cards. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so you don't miss out on any future videos. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks very much for watching and happy crafting.